First with that job memberships at the gym, but I'm not sure. But so I have been
That ready to get this ball game started? The first thing on the list called order. I said, be quiet.
That's close enough.
You ready? I'm ready.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm
I do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully perform the duties of mayor
that I faithfully perform the duties of mayor
of the town of Chapel
of
Hill,
the town of Chapel Hill,
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected,
and that I will support the constitutions
and I will support the Constitution
of the United States and the state of Tennessee.
of the United States and state of Tennessee.
That's it. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Williams? Find a good spot here. I'm Todd Moore. Good to meet you. You just repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear and affirm
that I will faithfully perform the duties of alderman
I will faithfully perform the duties of alderman
of the town of Chapel Hill,
of the town of Chapel Hill,
to which I have been elected,
to which I have been elected.
and that I will support the constitutions
I will support the Constitution
of the United States and the state of Tennessee.
of the United States and the state of Tennessee.
And I'll give you this to sign.
So I'll stand for pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You call a roll?
Alderman Williams.
Here.
Alderman Morton.
Here.
Alderman Falconberry.
Here.
Alderman Joyce.
Here.
Alderman Hill.
Here.
Alderman Lawrence.
Here. Move on to the approval of the agenda. Everybody look through it.
Move to approve.
I second. Any discussion? Been approved and seconded. Approval of minutes. Any questions on it? Last month's minutes, I think I'm right.
May I ask a question about it? And I don't know if this is the right time. On number 12, where we were gonna do a memorandum of understanding to be drawn up, has that been done and signed, or?
We have a, Todd recommended to me that we do it as an RFP. I have that right here.
What's an RFP? I'm sorry.
Request for proposals.
Okay, okay,
I do have those here,
okay.
and that's something that can be brought up in other business.
Okay, I'd just like to follow up on
Yes,
what we
ma'am.
talked about. Move to approve.
Second. Got a first and second. Call the roll.
Alderman Williams. Aye or nay?
I'm
On the minutes. He asked me to call the roll.
Approve in a minute.
Alderman Morton.
Yes.
Alderman Falconberry.
Yes.
Alderman Joyce.
Yes.
Alderman Hill.
Yes.
Alderman Lawrence.
Yes.
Citizen input. Anybody here got anything you want to get an amen corner with or what?
There's a crowd out.
There's a crowd out there. We got some citizen input.
Well, are you pushing us to other business, or can we go ahead and get it out of the way of citizen
We
input?
push to other business.
Oh, then we'll wait.
Oops. I was sorry.
There's some more people.
There's some more out here.
Okay.
They pushed us to later. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jackie.
What are we gonna do?
She seemed to think.
I can hear now. I can hear here.
He's asking if you had anything you wanted to say.
No.
Oh, she said no.
Comments
She said no, I don't know.
Any comments or anything right now? We'll come back to it if they do later on. All right, communication from the mayor. I don't know what y'all expect from that. The only thing that I say that I think I like to get Mark to send something to all the employees that work for the city of Chapel Hill. You want to stop at the house and talk to me, shoot the crap, or whatever. If you come there to complain about something, you need to go somewhere else. Don't come to my house. I worked here for 30 years, chief of police, and they never did come to my house and complain. And they're not going to start now. They can come here at this meeting if they got a complaint, or you got a chain of command that the employees has got up here. They need to go through that before they come to me. If they do, they're back out of the driveway and don't get in the grasses and leave. And that's about it. Now, the communications that y'all got with some of the city employees, I recommend you to do the same thing, because it seems like the city employees, some of them has got more information what's going on at these meetings than I've got or anybody else has got in this town. And I know that they can come to y'all when they want to, but why would you want that headache? I don't want it at my house. I don't talk business at my house like that. Never did. So I wish y'all would look at that real good. I'm learning this job as mayor. I'm going to do the best I can. But I'm here to protect the citizens of Chapel Hill, all of them. Whether they live in the city limits or not, the citizens of Chapel Hill comes first to me. That's our tax money going to work right there. And I'm not for wasting money, if you know what I mean. I'm a poor man, but I'm not as dumb as a lot of people thinks I am. I can carry on a bunch of crap with you. I can preach to you all day long. It doesn't bother me. I speak to 10,000 people. It doesn't bother me a bit. But I do not want to be bothered at home. So that's about all I got to say about that. And if y'all got any questions to me, come to the house. I'll give you an answer. You may not like it, but I'll give you an answer, what I think. But there are two sides to every story that you are being told. Just weigh it. Weigh it. Make sure that you know before you come up here what went on. Does anybody not understand what I just said? If you don't, I can explain it to you a little bit further.
I understand.
I think it's pretty
perfectly.
plain.
I'm not as opposed as you are to people coming to me, but I certainly understand where you stand, and you know,
Yeah,
I don't relish it, but
I understand that.
So that's the
that.
other side to
Right.
that story.
I understand. You know me, and all on the board here really knows me good. I think most of them do anyway.
But if
You
we
can talk to me, but talk to me in a civil tone. Don't come griping about something that you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I
That's what
was
I'm getting
referring
at.
to questions.
Okay.
I would have questions. And if I do have questions, what's the best time to,
Give me a
I
call.
don't know that I ever even asked Annie a question except in the meetings. I don't know
Okay,
if I've
I
asked you
understand.
one. So
Understand.
what would be the proper way for,
You can call me anytime you want to.
and you're telling me to get out of your drive, get off my
No,
property?
you can call me when you want to. I don't care. Don't call after 7:30.
I'm not away.
Now, 7:30, I'm in the bed.
Me too.
Okay? And good Lord's willing, at 7:30 at night, I'm gonna be in the bed.
I'm hoping so too.
Okay? Now,
That was just,
Better hurry.
no, I can hurry.
I like it.
That's very good.
Now, anybody else got anything that y'all want to know about me? The ones that don't know me. I know Horace Jr. knows.
I like it. I like it.
Now, I'm going to be plain spoken to you. If I see a rat in the hole, I'm going to tell you a rat in the hole. And I hope that everybody understands that. I'm not calling you out or anything. Ain't nobody out. But I'm not going to, I don't like to, I don't know how to put it. My family, my wife, and my kids, my grandkids, they're number one to me. And if I go in the house and I'm mad, I'm gonna be mad from now on. That's the reason. I had a ton of people come to my house. They don't come in the house to talk to me. I carry them to the shed. You sit out here and you talk. You're not going in the house because my wife, we don't argue in the house. You know, me and my wife argue. Don't get me wrong, but we don't talk business about other people's
I
business
understand what you're
in
saying
my house.
completely, and
Right.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. But that's about all I got. Unless anybody else got anything?
I don't think we have any questions about it.
Well, if you do, I can answer it.
And I like that.
Let's do it before 7:30.
Yeah, before 7:30. It's 6:15, 6:12 now. What's that clock?
Good.
All right, let's see. Let's go to the reports.
I'll try to answer any about the financial report in Chris's absence, if anybody has any.
I've already asked mine on that.
Okay.
But I would have a request on the, not on the financial, but I would like to see us put minutes from all the board in the packets if possible.
I'd like that also.
And then on, I'm sorry.
Mike had a question about something and he asked me, and I said, I don't know. Would you like to ask
A
it?
verse off number 9.
Oh, what?
Mike's on your other side.
Okay.
What are we giving $1,800 to the gym a month for?
We offer all our employees a membership to the gym, those who want to take advantage of it as part of our health program.
But does it save us money anywhere, Mark?
That's
Because I work out at the gym and I ain't never seen a city employee down there.
That's just something that we offer.
Okay, it's just,
And
it's
everybody,
like wasting money.
it could be, and we can not put that in next year's budget if we.
I'm
choose
just curious,
not to.
that's a big, is that a month?
No, that's,
Oh, okay.
that's for 6 months.
Okay.
I think that includes you now, right?
Doesn't include me.
I mean, you can go
Yeah,
now.
what's story? You guys just saved me a whole bunch of money.
That's right.
I'm gonna start too, so I'm gonna be one you'll be seeing.
Yeah, I'm going to too.
shoulder up there.
Soon as the pigs fly.
On the reports part of it, one thing I'd like to ask on the agenda packets, is there any way we can get those out early where we'll have some days to come in here to ask questions, anything we got coming up that really I don't understand, these other people might, I may not, and I might have about 50 questions I need to ask. And I get it on Saturday morning at 7:30, and it's hard to ask it on Saturday and Sunday, and I have to work on Mondays. Can we get it maybe on Tuesday, Wednesday, give us a couple of days to do it, to look at it?
Just give us more time to go over it too.
Right. If I got any questions, I can do
I
it.
got mine Thursday.
I got mine.
I got mine at 7:30 Saturday morning.
Saturday, yeah.
But now that
And I come in, I ask questions, and I learn everything.
Well, it's hard to on Saturday morning, ain't nobody here, or
We can try to get that on Tuesday or
Leave that
Wednesday.
work and come down here and do it like I do.
do what?
I come down here and get it like I do, I guess. It's working.
I
He
can
has
come
a
down here.
J.O.D.
I can come down here if I know it's ready. I thought they delivered them. I'm sorry. I can come get it. I can come get no money if
They
it's
get
ready.
ribs on Friday and that way, if it doesn't,
I've been here and asked for them on Thursday, sometimes I'm not ready. Most times I'm ready Friday.
Well, it's easier now that they have a deadline on when things can be put on the agenda. It was previously, until
Right.
6 months ago, things were being added the Monday out, but now there's a 10-day notice, so that gives 10 days less, a few days to organize it, plus Chrissy's deal.
And even if we had to send something out, where a resolution may not be complete, we can still send the majority of it out on
Right, and just
Tuesday
have
or
it.
Wednesday and
Have a speech
note in there
paper
that
come in.
this is incomplete and we'll, get it complete as soon as we can.
Would it make y'all's lives easier if we picked them up?
Either way is fine with us, Dottie.
Well, delivery suits me fine, but if it would make somebody's life easier, I can drive, that's all.
Yeah, either way is fine. We can, anybody that wants to pick them up is welcome to, and we can take the ones that don't come get them. Also in my report, of course there was, I wanted to write in there about the water and sewer issue, if anybody's got any questions about that, but there was a lot of information that I picked up at a conference a couple weeks ago at a risk and insurance symposium, and I think that a lot of it would be to our benefit to get together and talk about some of it as it relates to new discrimination laws and open meetings and what the state's doing with that kind of stuff. I'd love it if we did another, like we did when the board first got together with the previous mayor, get together and do another work session and set our priorities and all that sort of thing. So if y'all would like to, I'd like to schedule something just for us to get together and talk about priorities going forward, and plus, like I say, get y'all some information that would be important to me. So if y'all just want to at some point check your calendars and let me know some potential dates and times.
Do we want a Saturday morning? Is that the best time for everybody? If so, I propose September 22nd. 9 o'clock.
I won't be able to make it.
You want, okay, he
For
can't
one
do-
day this month. I won't.
Well, what about I know we're getting into ball games, but we could do it earlier.
Ball
but-
games, fall break.
The last week of September and the first week of October are the two that I wouldn't be able to do.
Okay, well, what about if we do it during the week then? Looks like the 19th is Yom Kippur. I don't have anything like that.
The 19th is good for me. I leave on the 20th, but
And do it, so 5:35, is that, because we won't last too long, will we?
Is that fall break weekend?
The 19th is a Wednesday.
Of September or October?
I'm looking at September, I meant.
October.
September is what I should have said, I don't know what I said.
I'm good there.
I'm good.
September the what?
19th.
At 9.
What time?
5:30.
Yes, that's good.
Will you be back by then?
I won't be gone by then.
By then, 3 weeks.
And then
We leave on the 27th.
Oh, okay.
a couple updates. One on our traffic light project that's in this year's budget. That's in the process of being designed. There is quite a waiting period on steel right now for the poles. So once it's designed and bid, we're probably looking at 6 months right now to get the materials needed for the actual project. And it's also about significantly higher right now than it was the last time we did a traffic light project. So just want to put that out there that we are in the process of designing it, but it's probably going to be one of those that takes it a minute to actually get around to happening. I think that was the only thing right now that I got that I wanted to make y'all aware of, was that project. Of course, our big sewer project, we have a preliminary construction meeting on that in about 2 weeks. I'm not sure of that date. I'll get that out to you if anybody's interested in coming to that. But that's all I got.
Anybody else got anything?
New business? That would be the new business or the old business?
To be other. To be other.
Okay.
New business ordinance 201809, rezone 409 North Horton Parkway.
I make a motion.
Do we have any?
Any discussion or anything?
I have a question. How many readings are required? It's just 2 readings? And so there will be a public hearing before we do the final reading?
And let me also add that it says rezone, but it's not actually a rezone, it's an overlay. The underlying zone on those properties would stay the same as it is currently, so we're not actually rezoning something.
That's the one right across the road here.
The 409 is, yes, sir. This would be overlaying the planned urban development and or the mixed use zoning on top of the current zoning. Just wanted to make that clear.
I'll second.
Got a first and second. Call the roll.
Alderman Williams?
Aye.
Alderman Morton?
Yes.
Alderman Falconberry?
Yes.
Alderman Lawrence?
Yes.
Alderman Hill?
Yes.
Alderman George?
Yes.
Next is ordinance 2018-10, rezoning 132 Depot Street.
Let's see, this is,
Tom Brown, built place.
Who?
this property here on the map that I've got pulled up there. Right behind the lodge.
The trailer still there?
Yes, sir. Yeah, these are 4 properties that had been, we received requests for this overlay zone.
What is the purpose of the overlay?
We had been through the process of developing a planned urban development zoning and a mixed-use zoning. And the idea, the example I give to everyone is if anybody is familiar with Lenox Village, a little bit north of here, where you have an opportunity for some retail on the bottom of something, and then some residential maybe on top or behind in a commercial, on a commercial property. It's allows for a developer to come in with those types of ideas and have them approved if they meet all the criteria within the ordinance. But that's the 4 properties that have requested that may be looking at some type of either mixed use or planned development.
Am I correct in my understanding that that gives the owners more flexibility of what to do with the property?
Yes, ma'am.
I understood that as a plus.
Yes, ma'am. Right now, you know, they wouldn't have the opportunity to do something like we had just discussed, where, you know, some of the more modern types of development, you know, you'll see some commercial mixed in with some residential. And we don't have anything currently in our zoning ordinance that allows for that. And, you know, one of the first things that brought this up was the idea of the potential assisted living facility out on 99. They were planning to have both residential and commercial facilities on the property. So we couldn't do something like that without writing something into our ordinance that allows it. And instead of rezoning a bunch of properties, we wanted to do it as an overlay so that you could, you know, put that overlay onto a specific property and approve a specific project without just allowing it across the board without any oversight.
I understand the purpose of that with like Mr. Knox's property, but we're talking about an acre of land. What's the benefit there?
I'm assuming that they might want to do, like say, you could do a bed and breakfast,
Okay.
where you couldn't do
Okay.
something like that now, or you know, a live workspace with an office on the bottom and living
Okay.
up top, or
Okay,
something,
that makes
something of that
sense.
nature.
It had to be a business of some sort for it to be. Right now,
For-
it cannot be.
For the mixed use.
Yes.
I think the PUD, if I'm not mistaken, requires at least, was that 1 acre or
Bigger than
Five.
that, 2 or 5, I can't remember.
maybe 5 acres?
I guess that's a couple acres in that place, ain't it?
It's 1.3.
1.3. And what's the other one?
They're all, most of these little ones are right at an acre.
But yeah, the mixed use would be for something, like say, where you could,
A hair salon and a residential. in the same-
exactly, which you couldn't currently do with the rigid zoning.
Who owns the property?
That one is, I think, under Macrella Properties. I think Isaac Zimmerly
Larry Mack.
is part owner in that property as well. Isaac's the one that brought the request to us.
Yeah, he the one that bought it when it sold.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Got a first and second, call the roll.
Alderman Lawrence?
Yes.
Alderman Hill?
Yes.
Alderman Joyce?
Yes.
Alderman Falconberry?
Yes.
Alderman Morton?
Yes.
Alderman Williams?
Yes.
Ordinance 2018-11, rezone 301 North Hardin Parkway.
I think this is the one,
It's on Maple, off of Maple.
That's where the hair guy's headquarters is now, Fish and Markets.
okay.
That's 30.1 acres.
This is right at the red light, Mr. Brown's old place.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Lions Club buy that? They did?
No, they brought the one down at the gate.
Down from there.
Yes.
Any discussion before we vote? Got a motion to accept.
I'll second.
The first and second, call the roll.
Alderman Williams?
Yes.
Alderman Morton?
Yes.
Alderman Falconberry?
Yes.
Alderman Joyce?
Yes.
Alderman Hill?
Yes.
Alderman Lawrence?
Ordinance 2018-12, rezone parcel 2130, it's 30.1 acres. And 2,130 acres.
I think that's,
This one's a little different.
that's the one that's up beside, Stony Brook, I would think.
I don't know where that.
Yeah, that's the one beside,
This is Mark's back there.
Stony Brook subdivision.
And what they want to do, what is it going, that's a lot of land.
Yeah, the planned urban development, overlay, they would, if they wanted to do that, they could come back through the planning commission, and add some things that, they couldn't add, and right off the top of my head, I can't, think of why, or if they would, but, the 30.04, the front of that property, the mixed use, I know that, they are interested in potentially doing some mixed use retail, up in the front of that area.
Do what? What they'll be able to do whatever they want if we pass this, right? Pretty much.
Well, they're pretty much on the retail.
Retail
along
side
there
already.
Already.
Yeah, so it's not really much difference.
That's retail property on that far end down there.
And I'm not sure exactly why they would, what they have, the reason for doing it. Unless they decided they wanted to do a little planned development of some description, which someone who likes to walk to get my hair done or my nails done, that would be a good thing, but I don't know what they plan.
Have these been brought before the planning commission
And I
already?
wasn't at the last meeting. I move to approve.
I'll second it.
Approve in a second.
Alderman Williams,
Yes.
Alderman Morton,
Yes.
Alderman Falconberry,
Yes.
Alderman Lawrence,
Yes.
Alderman Hill,
Yes.
Alderman Joyce.
Yes.
Next is resolution 18-23, annexation property. I think Todd, you want to talk about this before we get started?
Just briefly, and I think we may have discussed it a little bit last month's meeting, but because one of the tracks, or the track we're looking at annexing, is outside the town's urban growth boundaries, there is an issue that we need to make sure we're in compliance with. In order to annex outside the UGB without opening up the county's growth plan, we've got to meet 3 criteria. One, the tract has to be contiguous to a tract of land that has the same owner and has already been annexed by the municipality. 2, the tract is being provided water and sewer services. And 3, the owner by notarized petition consents to being included into the municipality's urban growth boundary. So I'm assuming the applicant is the owner, and we've got a notarized affidavit to that effect. And it is contiguous to a parcel that's within the municipality. The question where I think there is an issue is whether or not the tract is being provided water and sewer services. So it does create, I think, a potential issue if someone, the county or another party, were to challenge the annexation, whether or not we've complied with the statute if we move forward. I've just read verbatim what it requires: water and sewer being served to the tract. There could be some gray area there, whether if it's getting one or the other, or if one is not available, whether we're in compliance or not. But just wanted to let the board be aware as we move forward that if it were challenged in the future, it would be an issue. So. I mean, I think the worst thing that could happen would be that the annexation would be void and would revert to the jurisdiction of the county. But that, again, just wanted you to not be surprised if it were to come up in the future. I don't know why the county would want to challenge it, or that any other party would have standing to challenge it, but that's the way the statute is written. So.
I can't see the county challenging us.
I'll make a motion for passage.
Do you see does anybody see any reason why the county would challenge it?
With our TAP discussion earlier, Mark, is that going to play an issue in the future anywhere?
Of course, nothing's guaranteed, but I can't see it. I can't see it being an issue for us, one way or another.
Because I mean, right now we're kind of making an empty promise on the tax, right?
We've done that before.
Well, we no, actually on this one, the taps are not guaranteed at all.
Only if we have.
But the water is that we will provide water, we don't have any water.
No.
Well, what did Todd just say?
No, yeah, and this is separate. I'm talking about just what the state law requires as far as the urban growth boundary is concerned, and that's one of the criteria that the
Which
town
we
is
don't
providing
meet, though.
water or sewer. Our plan of services, which is attached to the resolution, specifically says that the developer would be responsible for extending utilities, including water and sewer, to the property. So we're in this plan of services. If it were adopted, we're not guaranteeing to run water or sewer to the development.
Unless we have it. Right.
Even then,
Even then, we don't have to, if we don't want to, right?
Well, the developer has to pay for it. That's the key.
If we have it to give.
Yes.
Whereas the state says that in order for us to annex that, there has to be water and sewer.
Outside our urban growth boundary,
Right.
it's a requirement that this.
So we're just overlooking the state of Tennessee and we're going straight to, Hope the county doesn't, you know.
Most of the time on annexation, it's usually people don't want to be annexed.
Exactly.
And any time that there is a question about being annexed, it's somebody saying that's going to challenge it is somebody that doesn't want to be.
I get that.
Whereas this person wants to be annexed. Now the next question is whether it's in the growth boundaries which were set 20 years ago. And we have some options. We can open them up, which that was a horrendous process. There were people in this area that really just went off the deep end about trying so they wouldn't be in the growth area, so they couldn't be annexed into the city limits of Chapel Hill. So we can open it back up, you know, they can request us to open it back up, you know, and go through all that again.
Well, suppose we did not meet the regulation or whatever it's called, that it be contiguous. Would y'all be all for doing that? That's, you know, we're approving what we want to approve and we're not approving what we don't want to approve. And it's the same weight that the state is carrying on the 3 phases, but we're going to pretend like the water one doesn't count.
That's water and sewer.
Water and sewer doesn't count. But being contiguous, we would insist on that. And whatever the third one was, we would insist on that. Whereas this, I don't know why we're so desperate for stuff, but we're going to overlook the state of Tennessee to do this.
Well, I guess then we could just open it back up, or if he chooses, wants to open it back up, you know.
You're talking something a long time. Last time it took years and years and years to do that.
It's kind of like the out on Crutcher Road deal, you know. That'll never happen. Huh. It happens.
Okay, the only question I got out there where you're going to develop is you're talking about Charles White Rogersville Place.
Yes.
Okay?
That's a piece of it, yes.
Okay. A piece of it. Now, what will that do to us as a city for the people that live between here and there? Along old 99. Are y'all talking about annexing those people that may not want to be annexed?
No, it's
No.
That field right there, where the water tank and there, right there.
Well, I understand that.
That field right there, all the way back there across the railroad section.
I know where it's at.
We done put that in the city limits already.
All right. Now, I'm talking about when you go up there and then you're gonna break off and take Charles White's place in, right?
I see it connects to that right there.
I understand that. These other people's property sitting there is connected to that property too. Are y'all gonna go in there and grab those people next?
There'd have to be a request for annexation on those.
They got to request it.
They'd have to request it.
I just make sure because, you know, I know there's a lot of questions being asked. Are they gonna force me? And we forced some people that we ain't got services to them yet, so we need to think about it. I think. But now, if it's gonna force these people to be annexed,
It's not forcing
it's not
anybody.
forcing all.
Force anybody.
Okay. All right. That's all I got. Anybody else got anything on it? You made the motion? We have a second?
Second.
Have a second? Call the roll.
Alderman Lawrence?
Yes.
Alderman Hill? Yes. Alderman George?
Yes.
Alderman Cronberry? Yes. Alderman Morton?
No.
Alderman Williams?
Yes.
All right.
Hey, Mark, Jackie, there was a piece of that property that went through on the planning also, that I don't see it on there for PUD and mixed use overlay, the front half that's in the city limits.
We were gonna make sure we got it annex first before we.
Okay, because that was already,
Process.
that was already in. Okay.
Alrighty. Anybody else got anything? Then we go to the other business.
What about F 1830, approval of hiring a new officer?
We passed that for tonight.
Or pass that again?
I'd like to request that we remove that from the
I
agenda.
saw it from last month's removed, I didn't see it removed from this one. So that's passing off again?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, you got your paperwork ready for the, y'all come on in. In the ball field. I believe that's what you're, I'm pretty sure it is.
All right, well, we're just here to pick up the memorandum of understanding. We don't have to take up too much time.
As I worked on this with Todd, he requested that we do an RFP instead of a memorandum of understanding, which is gonna change the process a little bit. But Todd, do you wanna speak a little bit about why you wanna do an RFP?
Yeah, but when Mark and I started talking and he was explaining kind of what we would be looking at in terms of a memorandum of understanding, I realized we really had more questions and not really much to put in an agreement. And so I suggested that instead of drafting an MOU at this point, that we put it out for requests for proposals so that we could get this group and presumably any other, but I'm assuming it'd just be this organization would submit a proposal to the board as far as what they would be wanting to do at the park with some of the criteria. And what I did was I included the criteria Mark had given me to be part of the MOU, but also to get some input from the group as far as the area that they wanted, what types of leagues they were wanting to put out there, some specifications in terms of how it would be financed, what assistance they would want from the town if we were to move forward, you know, the length of the agreement that we would have in place if we were to move forward. And then if they could submit that information, then the board could put together an MOU or a more formal agreement next month or whatever deadlines that the town decided we wanted to set. But we really didn't have enough information to draft much of an agreement at this point as far as what was being proposed. So that's why we had gone this direction.
So everything we've communicated the past 2 months, we just need to put in writing, is what you're saying?
And that may be part of it. I mean, I know that y'all have been here at meetings. I didn't have much in terms of details as far as what we had decided on. Again, Mark had sent me a text that had some bullet points, but
Some of the questions that came up were like, where exactly is the property, you know, what exactly is the location on the property that we can put in the MOU?
That's a question you have for yourself?
No, that's a question that we don't have answered at this point because no one's went out there and done a survey and put pins around so that we can put in a memorandum of understanding exactly what piece of property we're talking about. And like I say, that's one of the questions that comes to my mind.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I walked it with you that day, and I mean, it's not been officially done, but I showed you exactly where.
Right, and exactly. Yeah. But I mean, we can't vote on. Well, we went out there and walked it, and we think it's about here. I mean, this board has to have something that says exactly what they're talking about. And like I say, this is something that when I gave my bullet points to Todd, it was the attorney's opinion that we didn't have enough information to draw up a memorandum of understanding. So we thought that this was one way to get that information that we needed so the board would have something specific to vote on.
Would it be possible for you guys to give us a list of your specific questions so that we can gather all of those things? It's on there, okay.
Do you think?
I can get it.
We'll get some copies.
Okay.
And I think the board has just now seen this too, so I don't know if y'all have questions and want to discuss it, or if y'all want to bring it up. Again, we were just trying to get it to the next step. And I don't, from my standpoint, Mark may disagree, but I don't think it has to be surveyed at this stage, but I think maybe, you know, a sketch or drawing showing, you know, this area and how that impacts the trail and the parking and bathrooms and that sort of thing would be appropriate.
That's fine with me if you think that's enough.
Yeah, I think before we did a final agreement, we would have it surveyed, but
Yeah.
to get to the next step.
But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to do this. We were told one thing. I mean, you told him in writing that you were going to have it. You didn't say anything about this, so.
Well,
I know you're just stalling,
I'll
but-
take responsibility because again, when I started trying to put it together, I just didn't have enough detail to do anything that I thought would really be binding on either party, just based on the limited information that we had, and some of the information that Mark thought would be needed, and I agree as far as the plans for trying to financing the construction and insurance and other requirements like that.
Yeah, we've talked about all that in these meetings.
And I think what we're wanting is to have that commitment
In
down
writing.
in writing and
Okay.
in terms that the town could look at and approve or not.
Okay.
You think back in October?
That's all I have.
See you next month.
See you
See you next month.
Get it regular.
I do think that
Will you let us know though, if you're gonna change it on us and require something different next month? Could you let us know so we can get that ready? Or are we gonna have to come next month and then find out something different and then come the next month?
Yeah, and this will actually be advertised. I don't know if we'll put it in the paper, but it'll be on the towns. We haven't talked about the specifics of advertising, but it'll be published. Now, I do think maybe before y'all leave, I would suggest that the board vote whether we want to put this RFP out before, you know, just so we're all on the same page. I don't want to.
For all the other Chapel Hill Youth Baseball leagues to vote on? Or to submit their proposal?
I mean, it's another league, another nonprofit could submit a proposal. I mean, you know, if that were to happen, then I guess the town could
Is that
choose.
something we
But
can go ahead and vote on? I would make a motion to do it.
Second.
May I ask a question? You know, I understand that everything changes, but it seems like I'm getting the feeling, just personally, that we're putting more hoops in front of, to jump through. Is this pretty, as far as you know right now,
It's
this
gonna be it.
pretty much is, you know, or like I said, if they're gonna come back next month, then we put more fences up.
yeah, I'm not, unless somebody directs me to, again, when Mark kind of gave me his list
And
of bullet
I
points.
understand, that makes sense.
This is the third month I think they've been here. I think we need to get something started for them.
Something, let's get a
We're
little,
asking for a simple business plan.
but we keep changing the boundaries.
But though, you know, you understand what you need right here is this, because I've just seen it, so I'm not sure I understand it yet.
Well, we've communicated that we're just a group of parents. We're gonna raise the money to better the city park so we can play some baseball and softball games on it.
But you understand what's needed of you for next month, as long as you understand, and if we could touch base before the meeting here, so you know you got it right, and we
And
can
if
vote
something
on
else
it.
comes
And
up.
if there's
I'm
something.
not certain that this will be what you want next month.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, if you could touch base with
My
Mark
point,
to
exactly.
see, so we can go ahead and vote on it next month. If it passes through him, then it can get to the table here, or passes through Todd.
When is the deadline to submit this? There's not a deadline on here.
Yeah, and that, again, if you look at the bottom, I was presenting that to the board tonight to decide how they wanted to advertise it. So if part of the motion could be for it to be advertised and then be considered at next month's meeting, that would take care of that.
I make a motion, we go ahead and advertise it and get it on the way.
We already did that.
We've already got that.
And I'll second his motion.
Well, has it been, did we do that tonight or last month?
So how long would
That's
you
just to
need to
recommend
get
this
that?
right here,
Well,
to get that.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
what timeline would you need to have that in?
Well,
I
I
mean, I'm
mean,
just looking at, I don't know how long it would.
I'm not
Yeah,
confident.
yeah.
I'm not confident that this isn't going to change. I mean, I can do it this week. I mean, we know everything. We've communicated to this board now, 2 straight months, everything that's on here. So I can go back and
We'll
put
just
it in
have it all in
writing.
writing.
We're the same place.
And
It
we've
needs
got
it in
notes.
writing.
Yeah, and that's what I can
All
put
our
it.
meetings too, so.
Okay,
we're
Yeah,
all
I'm
that.
saying we've
Back and
already.
forth, but
So,
ultimately, that's what he's
Could
saying.
you
Yeah.
bring it into him and then a week, and then he can
Yes,
send it to
absolutely.
him, and he can
Yes.
tell you,
Exactly.
and then we can vote on it.
No,
next
all I'm
month.
saying is I
That'd
can
be
bring
great.
it tomorrow morning because I know everything.
Okay.
And you just tell me when you
But
want.
that's the point we're getting at. But you know everything, but he doesn't.
Yeah, well, he's been here.
Well, but it's not in writing. There's nothing legal about
It's
it.
gotta be in writing.
Okay. We know that now. We just learned that a few minutes ago.
Me too. I'm learning with you. This is my first week.
Us too, I mean,
Thank you.
So-
We'll get it to you in a week, within a week.
Good.
Thank you.
You got a motion, been second, to advertise and to proceed with this.
Alderman Williams,
Yeah, yes.
Alderman Morton,
This is to,
to send out the
Just get it
RFP.
rolling.
yes.
Just get rolling.
Alderman Fountain,
Yes.
Alderman Joyce,
Yes.
Alderman Hill,
Yes.
Alderman Locke.
Has anybody else got anything they'd like to talk about?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
The paving at Don's Drive,
I'm hoping it starts any day now.
because I've been asked a lot.
Yes, I'm hoping it starts any day now.
Okay.
Second.
You got a second to adjourn? Look here, 5 minutes, 7 minutes to 7, I told you.
You will make it.
Liking this.
Yeah, I gotta go and change clothes, go with the ball game. You wanna go?
I gotta go.
I thought you was gonna be in bed at 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way.